Hey YouTube, welcome back to my review of Chapter 2 of the Exorcist TV series. Now Chapter 1 played out a brief intro of all the characters, not really touching on too much, and no one was really fleshed out. Things felt a little rushed and didn't really give much on background story. If you haven't seen my review of Chapter 1, please check it out. After watching Chapter 2, I think I know what kind of approach this series is taking. It's giving the viewer a little bit more backstory and fleshing out everyone as we go along. We get a quick recap of what was going on in Chapter 1. Apparently, Angela thinks there's something going on in her house. It might be a demon and it's after her daughter Catherine. But, big twist, Casey seems to be the demonic conduit. Honestly, I'm having trouble telling the daughters apart. And then we jump into Father Marcus's past as a young orphan and how the church was cultivating him to become an exorcist. Now, I would have thought this would have been more of a calling for a priest than to pit children against possessed people and hoping things just turn out. Now, back in the present, we have Angela coming across Casey in the kitchen, sitting in the dark, touching herself, and speaking in some other voice. It's as if the demon is inside Casey and he's groping her and touching her, saying, "So fresh, so wonderfully supple." Angela records this on what looks like an iPad. This is the Exorcist I know. This is a scene you'd probably see in the film. Reagan had similar things happen to her before she went full-blown Reagan thing. Anyway, a whole new opening credit and title screen plays out, which doesn't play like Insidious, but more like Dexter. I don't know what to think of that one. So now with Angela's video, Father Tomas tries to present a case of possession. But from what we learned from the movie and the novel, just that's not going to cut it. It's not going to be enough to prove possession. What, one video? And how would he prove what happened in the attic? Things start getting a little weirder after Angela receives a phone call from Casey's phone. And Casey didn't make the phone call, she left it at home. This is where we get introduced to these centipedes or millipedes or some kind of multi-legged bug. Somehow they're associated with the demonic entity. Father Marcus leaves his retreat and winds up in Father Tomas's apartment. Now, at this point, you might realize that Father Marcus is going to be the one that instructs Father Tomas in the subject of possession. We get to Casey's lacrosse game and things start to go more like The Omen than The Exorcist.
Amen, Satani, versus Christus. Amen, Satani, versus Christus. Amen, Satani.
There's some old guy that appears to be like some overseer or protector. And Casey starts to show off her new powers by snapping the leg of an opposing player and then later balancing an impossible array of Jenga pieces. So why is this happening, and why is it happening to Casey? So later, this homeless man approaches Casey at what looks like a volunteer soup kitchen lineup and tells her that she's special and he has chosen her. So who is this guy and who has chosen Casey? Anyway, the chosen Casey gets tested at the dinner table as Angela puts holy water in her drinking glass. Apparently nothing happens, not that Angela noticed, not until the privacy at the bathroom. There we get to see the multi-legged centipede millipede bug again, coming out of Casey's throat this time. This chapter brings up a lot of questions. What's up with these bugs? Why is there so much demonic activity happening, not just with Casey? Why was Casey chosen? And who's this old guy that she sees that no one else can see? And toward the end of the chapter, who was the group that slaughtered all those people and harvested their organs? One of them being the homeless man that approached Casey. I think this chapter made up for the previous one. A lot more of the story's being developed. So let's see what happens in chapter 3. What do you think of the show so far? Leave me a comment below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks.